In this episode, you'll see a terrible curse slowly killing a girl from the inside. Who put it on harmless Mineko? Today we'll find out, but I'll tell you right away, opponent, it's not an easy thing to do. Can Levi, the goddess of the waters of the sea, defeat him while on dry land? In Leoport, Shironika has returned from her work. She was received very warmly in the city and was treated to everything she could for her work. The girl helps merchants with supplies, which is why she is so popular with the locals. In addition, she has a sister to help, and the beastmen are the kind of people who will not leave their own in trouble. With all this mountain of food, Shironika barely made it home. She had walked so long that the sun had already set. At home, her little sister Mineko was waiting for her. She was in bed because she was sick. She had another coughing fit, so Shironika quickly poured the medicine into a mug and gave it to her sister. Afterwards, she felt better. She was so sick and tired of being sick. She would do anything for Mineko to get well. Setsu and Levi came to the port to ask a sailor for a boat to cross the river. What will you choose? Ignore, go to school or work. Like and subscribe to watch anime all day. But the man was evidently unfriendly and unwilling to give up his boat to strangers. Then the guy offered a reward for his help, but even then the sailor refused the hero's request. It looked like we would have to use Levi again as a boat and sail on it after all. From such news the girl was not delighted, indeed, she was furious. When the boys were already desperate, the sailor said that a boat would appear tomorrow and he could give it away for a while. Great, so today we can rest, have a nice meal, and sleep in a soft bed. At this time Shironika went into the shop to buy another jar of medicine for her sister. She was very grateful to the saleswoman for finding and creating such expensive remedies, because if it were not for her, it is scary to imagine what would have happened to her sister. They got to talking to the shopkeeper, but when the subject reached the family, the saleswoman gently changed the subject to talk about the next order. It turns out that the girl works as a hired assassin and has been ordered by Setsu himself. The order is not an easy one, but the payment will be substantial, so much so that it will be enough money for many years to come, including to pay for her sister's treatment. This private conversation was interrupted by Setsu and Levi, who entered the same shop where the transaction was taking place. The saleswoman greeted them as if nothing had happened. They asked her about a hotel room and a place to eat. But they had no idea that a murderer had just walked past them and wanted to kill them. That same evening, the two sisters had a quiet dinner sitting at home. Mineko ate very little, which cannot help but be disturbing. Shironika did not want to do the shopkeeper's bidding, but seeing her sister's condition, she wondered. At night at the inn, Levi and Setsu slept peacefully on the soft beds. They were no longer resting like this. The streets of the city were calm and quiet, and the night was dark and warm. But soon the darkness would no longer seem lulling, for Shironika came to her customer to do the dirty work. For her sister's sake the girl is willing to do many things, even a terrible crime. But before she did, she asked the saleswoman if she could call her sister. This discouraged the girl. But Shironika quickly explained, it is simply that the shopkeeper is the one who takes care of the orphans and it is only because of her that they are still alive. Over the years that she had helped the two sisters, the girl had become like an older sister to them. Of course, the girl agreed to wear the honorary title of sister. But first, the girl had an order to fill. The salesgirl gave her the key to the room where the pair of wayfarers were sleeping. Shironika went enthusiastically to do the job. The room was dark and only the moonlight from the window allowed her to see the sleeping travelers. The girl carefully set her claws out and attacked. But, as might be expected, Setsu sensed danger and dodged the blow. He immediately appeared from behind his attacker. With a single swing, he kicked the girl away from him through the window. She landed on the ground and now could not so easily leave the battlefield. Using the magic of half-transformation, she transformed her arms into paws. Setsu prepared for battle. Shironika soared into the air and shot a fireball at the guy. Surprisingly, the boy easily repulsed the reception. He got mad at the girl for nearly setting the city on fire and punched her in the palm of his hand. That punch was enough to incapacitate the killer. Levi and Setsu noticed that the girl was wearing the magic of a curse she had picked up from someone. Soon Shironika woke up in some house where Setsu was. As she assessed the situation, she realized she was in her own house. She was about to attack the boy again, but her sister stopped her. He quickly realized what the girl was risking herself and her conscience for. She was doing it for her sister. After examining the sick woman, he gave his verdict. Miniko was not ill. Using the magic of light, he brought the glowing orb to the amulet her sister wore. Immediately a purple aura appeared around her, signifying that it was curse magic. It was a very powerful curse, and not everyone could do it. We have to figure out how to save the girl, time is short. Shironika threw herself at Setsu with pleas to save her sister. She would do whatever it took to keep Miniko alive. The boy reassured the girl and promised that he would help them. It wouldn't feel pleasant, but it would get better with patience. They laid the cursed girl on the bed. Setsu tuned up and summoned the swallower. Just then a silhouette appeared in his hand out of a purple glow, first a silhouette and then the sword itself. It was a special weapon that actually looked very intimidating. The guy appealed to the swallower to swallow the curse that had gripped the girl. The sword opened like the mouth of a beast, in which a portal appeared, where it began to suck in the purple aura that surrounded Miniko. It was a little unpleasant, but the girl coped. Suddenly a girl appeared from behind. She threw a dagger at the boys, but it hit Shiraniki's shoulder. Who would have thought? It turned out to be the very owner of the shop, Kuroinu. She took the boys by surprise. Now Setsu can't interrupt to fight, she has to finish the cleansing ritual. Kuroinu wanted to take the lad into custody, but no such luck. Setsu is not alone, he has Livia. The goddess of the waters of the sea is not easy to defeat if she is in the water. Kuroinu has multiplied and created many copies of herself. How is it possible to find the real one among them? But that couldn't stop Levi, she used her magic to easily deal with the copies. Immediately the illusion disappeared and the girl now faced the real killer. It would seem that what could the goddess of the waters of the sea do on land? But Levi was not so simple, because wherever she was, her sea was always with her. The ground beneath her feet suddenly turned into salt water. Livia was even stronger now, for she felt in this element like a fish in water. This blow was quite powerful and threw the assassin a decent distance away from the sea goddess. It greatly weakened Kuroinu. Levi began her interrogation by asking what Toma was trying to achieve by waging a new war. All she heard in reply was taunts from her adversary. Suddenly Kuroin was approached by Shironika. She asked her about the motives of the girl's deeds. But she only insulted the girl by hurting her feelings. The girl said that Toma wished to become a true god in order to destroy all life on this earth. But a man cannot turn into God, it is impossible. But apparently he has found a way to do it. After these words, with the help of the amulet, Kuroinu disappeared in a flash of light. It is lightning outside, and the terrible night is over.